Welcome to this new video. Today I'm going to talk about the Tacx Flux. So that's the old version of the Tacx Flux, so that's the cheapest right now, I think. I finally invested in a smart trainer so I can train after work, because I work full time and I don't want to ride in the dark and in the cold and in the terrible weather we're having right now. So I invested in a smart trainer, and that happens to be the Tacx Flux. And I want to figure out in this video with you if the Tacx Flux is still worth it now in 2020. So let's go. So I bought this Tacx Flux to focus more on training rather than just easy rides, just to get more fit and to get more leg strength, to do longer rides or maybe even a race. So right now it's been over a week and a half, probably more like 2 weeks, and I've started doing some Swift training. Started off with the FTP test, the 20-minute test, so not the full one, but the short one. And got a little disappointed because my FTP is 184. So I've got a lot of work to do to even think about doing a race. So I've started the FTP Builder training program just to get my FTP up so I can get more fit and do more rides, longer rides, and to get the muscles in the legs a little stronger as well. So it's not riding outside, and I still love riding outside more than anything, but it's still a good way to get in shape and to maybe even do some Swift races, which seem a lot of fun. So maybe a little more background information on this turbo trainer. It's the Tacx Flux, so that's the T2900. Tacx doesn't make this kind of trainer anymore. They updated it to the Tacx Flux S. So only a couple shops still have this trainer, and where I bought it, I checked the website and apparently it's sold out right now. So, and I mean, you still have the Tacx Flux S, which is basically the updated version of this one. This version can simulate up to 10% climbs, can go up to 1500 watts, which is a lot for me. I don't think I can even hit that like at all. Since my bike is only a 9-speed, I had to use this ring between my cassette and the trainer, but it's included in the box, so you can just basically mount any bike frame on this. But I mean, it's a great trainer for beginners like me. It makes indoor training a lot more fun than just like a home trainer or spinning bike or whatever. And you can train on your own bike, kinda. Let's start the training. I believe it's only a foundation training, so it's a little low intensity. Yep, so that's foundation training. I would like to do some, maybe even live streams in the near future when I'm a little more in shape to document these training sessions and races and stuff like that. So let me know below in the comments if you would like to see stuff like that. Alright, so I am finishing up this warm-up here, and then I'm putting on some music and go and finish this training, and I will see you after. so I'm done with my workout. I did a little bit of climbing in the end because it was a little low on the watts. It was a little low intensity, but you know, you gotta do that in trainings sometimes. And in the end, it reminded me that I didn't really show you my setup yet. So, well, here's my setup, my Zwift setup. I've got a MacBook Pro running Zwift. And because I also really like to produce music, I have an USB interface with some studio monitors. Then we've got the necessary fan here because it can get hot in here. So on to the Tacx setup. It's my Bianchi Vianeron 7 bike. And then there's the Tacx Flux. On the bike I've equipped my Wahoo cadence sensor. And I'm wearing a Wahoo ticker heart rate monitor just to get some more statistics on the rides and some more accurate training values. Alright, so is the Tacx Flux still worth it in 2020? Well, if you want a short answer, yes, obviously. It's a good smart trainer, it's quality made, so obviously it's a good trainer. But I've read some stuff on the internet with people having issues with it. I've read on the internet that the watt consistency, so I've never done a workout with a power meter, so I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be like. But if you're pedaling, the Tacx Flux definitely isn't really consistent in outputting watts. It's pretty much all over the place. It's going from like 135 to 140 and back, and from 135 to 120 and back and stuff like that. So it's pretty all over the place, but still it's okay for training purposes. At least for me, it doesn't really have to be that accurate. So I can definitely work out with this smart trainer. So my personal experience was that when I did some sprint intervals, 10-second sprint intervals, there were some issues with the resistance of the erg mode, not really wanted to go back. But I downloaded the Tacx utility app and I did a firmware update, and then it was pretty much all okay because I did the sprint interval training yesterday and there were no issues at all. So I'm glad that got fixed. So the noise, for me the noise is okay. I mean, I'm not used to any other trainer. So I put my Tacx Flux on a yoga mat, a pretty thick yoga mat. So I think the wiggle or the balancing noise, that's pretty much non-existent. So the only noise you hear is pretty much your chain, and that noise isn't really bothering me, or I don't think it will bother the neighbors. So I think the noise is not an issue, at least not for me, and I don't think it will be for you. Next thing I want to talk about is the cadence sensor. And the cadence sensor in the Tacx Flux isn't really reliable, and in Zwift it basically didn't really appear at all. It kind of got stuck on like 60 rotations per minute, even though I was doing about like 100, so that wasn't really reliable. So I bought the Wahoo cadence sensor, not sure, the one of like 30 euros. I'll put a link in the description, and that one pretty much solved the issue I had with the cadence. So now my workouts are pretty accurate, also with the heart rate monitor. So I can really get the best out of the training programs. So I read on the internet somewhere that the Tacx Flux has some connectivity issues. I don't have those issues, so I bet like there's only a small portion of people who buy the Tacx Flux that have those issues. Alright, so that was my long answer. So do I think the Tacx Flux is still worth it in 2020? Yes, it is. And if you can still buy it and you're just starting out, or you just want to have a smart trainer for the winter period or whatever, something like that, I would definitely recommend it. If you have a little bit more money to spend, I would maybe go for the Tacx Flux S, because that is still available. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to stay up to date about new videos, go and hit that subscribe button down there. And if you hit the bell icon, you get notified whenever I upload a new video. You can also follow me on Instagram, the link is down below. Goodbye, see you next time.